Right, let's have a look at the facial assignment. Okay, so question 1 is state the importance of carrying out a detailed skin analysis. Well, you want to do this so you can make sure that you know exactly what the skin of your client is, where if there's anything happening on the skin that's a contraindication, that could be preventing a treatment or a restricting your treatment. You want to be able to say what sort of products that you're going to be using for the skin type. So we've got the dry, oily combination type skins. So you want to make sure that you know what products and tools that you can use on your client. I'll put the heat up to where I am. Question 2 is describe how to select the products, tools and equipment to suit your client skin types and conditions. So obviously depending on the skin type, from your consultation, depends on what products you're going to be using. So for example, if a client's got oily skin, you're going to be wanting to use a face mask which is going to be purifying and tightening and drawing out of the excess oils. Likewise, if you've got client with dry skin, you might want to use something that's going to be more moisturising and hydrating. If you, for example, you've got a mature client, you want something that's going to be firm and toning. All right. Yeah. So next question, identify 3 different skin types and their characteristics. So oily, I mean, everything's in the slides for you, but you've got oily, generally open pores, papules, pustules, comedones, could be quite coarse skin. You've got dry skin, which is usually quite flaky patches, tight pores. You could have dehydrated skin. Actually, that's more of a condition. So let's go combination skin. So you've got an oilier T-zone where it's oily down the centre of the face and the forehead, and the sides of the cheeks would generally be more drier. But obviously that can be flipped on its head, because someone could have oily cheeks in the dry centre panel, if you like. So identify 3 conditions. So we've said 1, which is dehydrated. So you got like a superficial crisscross sort of pattern, broken capillaries, can be quite tight. You've got seborrhea, which is an overactive sebaceous gland, which produces too much an excess of sebum, which is oil. So the skin could be greasy and shiny. You've got broken capillaries as well, which are small red threads under the skin surface that tends to appear when the capillaries are dilated too quickly, and it causes the muscles and the walls of the capillaries to tear. Okay, so next one, describe the contraindications that prevent or restrict a treatment. Right, so you've got things like recent scar tissue, cuts and abrasions and bruising. They're things that restrict. All right, they're things that you won't be able to do your treatment over that area, if you like. Okay, so say they've got a bruise on the forehead. You could do a facial, but you would have to avoid that area completely. Okay, you've got things like, say they had impetigo. You don't want them on your beauty couch. It's highly contagious, so you want to show them the door. Well, do it nicely, but advise them to seek medical attention. So make sure when you're answering this, you're identifying the 3 types and their characteristics. Okay. Hold on. No, that's wrong. Describe the contraindication which prevent and restrict the facial treatment. So make sure when you're answering that question, you're describing what the contraindication is and whether it prevents or it restricts the treatment. So the next question is asking describe how treatments can be adapted to suit clients' treatment needs, skin types, and conditions. So let's have a think. So say you've got a client who is product sensitive. Okay, so you're gonna that which means that they're going to be allergic to certain ingredients. Say they've got a nut allergy, you would make sure that you've got no products that contains nuts. Okay, you could have a client which is touch sensitive, so they tend to get quite red and hot skinned if they get too much pressure. So you might need to cut down the length of time you're doing a treatment cut down the amount of time you're doing a massage, because obviously the touch of the massage is going to make their skin really quite red because they're touch sensitive. Next question is state the counteractions that may occur during and following a facial treatment and how to respond. So if they're having any sort of allergic reaction, obviously you want to stop what you're doing, take the product straight off the skin and use a cold compress. If they are still having some sort of reaction when they're due to leave, you advise that if it continues, that they seek medical attention. It could be contraction after some facials. The skin could purge. So if you've got a client who hasn't had a facial before or very rarely has them, all this activity of a massage and products that might draw the impurities out the skin, they might have a breakout of some spots in the following days. So you just want to advise them that there is a possibility, but it just means that their skin's purging because the facials worked. And a contraction could even be something down onto a positive. It could be that the skin's going to be glowy, dewy, hydrated and nourished. Okay. So I want you to state several contractions, okay, for that, and make sure that you're putting how to respond as well. So state the aftercare advice that should be provided. Now all this is in your manual, okay, but it's things like avoid wearing makeup for 6 to 8 hours afterwards, avoid any treatment that involves heats. So like sauna, steam rooms, etc. for 24 hours. So no touching the skin for 6 to 8 hours, as you know, because the skin's nice and clean, and if you pick or whatever, you're going to spread bacteria. Make sure you use the correct skincare following the treatment, and things that are internal as well. So make sure you're drinking around about 6 to 8 glasses of water per day, and book in for your next treatment to maximise the results. Explain how natural aging, lifestyle, environmental factors affect the condition of the skin and muscle tone. You've got all this in your workbook that I've sent you. Okay, they're in the slides as well. So you've got things like UV rays, you've got pollution, you've got stress, you've got smoking, you've got caffeine, you've got alcohol, you've got medication. These things can all factor into the aging process. And so obviously this is asking you to explain, so I want you to explain each one that you're pointing out. Okay. Hi, Steph. Sorry about that. Telephone always goes when busy. So yeah, so number 15, explain how the aging process. So everything's in your workbook. All right. So task 1, produce a fact sheet describing the contraindications that prevent and restrict a facial treatment. So that refers to look at question 5. Okay. So it just wants you to do like a little fact sheet that you could actually pop out to clients, okay? So you need to include a minimum of 1 fungal infection, 1 bacterial infection, 1 viral, 1 severe skin condition, 1 eye infection, and 10 contraindications that would restrict the treatment. So fungal infection could, I mean, there's so much. I mean, you could get, a client could have thrush of the mouth, so you can't do any like lip waxing, so like treatments around the mouth. Bacterial, you could have impetigo, or it could be a coleslaw. So just look in your workbook. All the answers for that is in your workbook, basically. Right, where we're on to next. So, task 2. So, anatomy and physiology. I'm going to send you out actually the anatomy and physiology workbook. In that workbook, you've got the functions of the skin, so that is abbreviated SHAPES-B. So you've got S for secretion, H for heat regulation, A for absorption, P for protection, E for excretion, S for secretion, and V for vitamin production. Okay. There'll also be, for the label of the diagrams, what I want you to do for those questions is just put C stone assignment, because with the stone assignment, I'll be sending you out a full booklet of anatomy and physiology labels for you, diagrams for you to label. Okay, so I just want you to just say reference C stone assignment. So the next one, describe the function of the blood. Again, it's in your anatomy and physiology workbook. Don't just put you've got blood vessels, arteries, and veins. You need to describe the function of the blood, what it does, carries nutrients, etc. Again, label a diagram. This will be in the anatomy part of the stone assignment. Your next question, describe the function of the lymphatic system. That again is in your anatomy book, and same with the other ones. Okay, but make sure that you are describing and you're fully explaining your answers. For the last one, state the actions of the muscles of the head, neck, and shoulder. Again, this is in your workbook. For this one, it's asking you to state the action. So you've got round the head, you've got the orbicular oris muscle, which is around the eyes, so blinking. You've got the orbicularis oris, is the one around your mouth, which is like in your masseter, which enables your chewing. There is like a little chart in the anatomy and physiology book, and that tells you which muscles do what, basically. Feel free to add in like little pictures in your assignments, because obviously that can help you explain your point. So hopefully this assignment makes a little bit more sense for you. Okay. Any problems, you know where I am, and I'm always available up until Friday afternoon till Sunday afternoon. Okay. Cheers.